Hello, good evening, everybody. So nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you're well, and I hope that you've had a good Sunday so far, a good week, hopefully, so far. And sorry, I've just received a message from somebody who says that Joe Biden has just stepped out of the race to become the next president of the United States. Yeah, so we've just heard in the last few minutes that Joe Biden is no longer running to become the president of the United States. Yeah, so is that good news, bad news? What do you think? Do let me know. Do let me know. I mean, lots of people had asked him to step down, right? After that shocking, very embarrassing TV debate that he had. And, you know, all of the other little things that we've seen because of his health, he's deteriorating. He's a lawyer. He's obviously a lawyer. So back in the day, I'm sure he was very good at his job. But these days, I think it's a very good idea for him to step down and for someone else to take his place. Yeah. So a lot of people are saying it's good news. Yeah. Sleepy and faster Joe. Oh dear, has gone. Right, now this is the $1 million question. So that means this is a very important question. This is the $1 million question. Who's going to take his place? Who is going to take his place? Who's going to take his place? We've got Kamala Harris. I don't know what you feel about her. I'm actually very excited about a lovely Mexican lady. She was born in Mexico, AOC, they call her. She came from nothing. She worked really hard. She's very much in touch with people. She understands people. She's come from a very humble background. She worked really hard. She is very good, very good. However, she is not going to be as forceful as the California governor, who is Gavin Newsom, I believe. Gavin Newsom is the California governor, and he is quite harsh. And I think you need somebody who's quite strong if you want to be fighting against the Republicans, possibly. Trump is trying to get the position. He is, yes. Trump is definitely trying. You know, he literally escaped death. He escaped death. That's the idiom we use. I'm going to put these in the caption. He escaped death, didn't he? With that bullet, he escaped death, and he's been talking about, you know, I took a bullet for democracy and all that kind of thing. But he escaped death and he's still standing. A lot of people are starting to wear their ear patch to show their support. And it definitely takes a lot of courage for somebody to be shot at, and yet he comes back on stage to talk. Yeah, so you need to have quite a bit of courage to be able to do that, I think. So, you know, if you're a Trump fan, I'm sure you're very happy to see him up on stage again, and he's well. He looks quite well. If you're a Democrat, then I think you also might be happy that Joe Biden has stepped down, and hopefully somebody to the task will take his place. So I don't know where you are, if you're a Republican or a Democrat, or which one you support. He has the power and charisma to be the president. This is from Layla. I think you're talking about Trump. Is that right? Yeah. Hello. Thank you for joining. He escaped death. He escaped death. Yeah. Trump, when he got the bullet shot, he escaped death. Michelle Obama could be candidate. Yes, that sounds great. However, I don't know, maybe our friends who live in America, they can maybe give us a few clues, or all of you, obviously, you listen to the news, don't you? Do you think people in America are ready to have a black female president. Do you think they're ready? I don't know. So that's something to think about. Yeah? Okay. It's just something to think about anyway. So yes, that just came on the news literally a few minutes ago. Literally a few minutes ago. So it's hot off the press. It's hot off the press. This is when we give very, very new, fresh news to somebody. We say it's hot off the press. And it's an idiom. We use the same thing when, you know, you get newspapers that are printed. They're still hot, aren't they, because of the ink and the printing machine and everything. So this news is very, very new. We say it's hot off the press. Okay. So after Lincoln, he has been the best president for the US. Just wait and see his impact on American military and economy power. Okay, that's Amir. Thank you very much, Amir, for your opinion. I thank you for that. And I'm guessing you're talking about Trump, aren't you? Since Lincoln. Okay, okay. Haj Agha Biden. I think I know why a lot of, especially Iranian people, they don't like Biden very much. They call him, what, Ayatollah Biden or something. And I can understand, yes, I can understand that there is a lot of frustration, there's a lot of anger, there's a lot of partnership and friendship behind closed doors between Biden and some other governments. Yes, yes. It's hot off the press, off O-double-F. It's hot off the press. It's hot off the press. Lovely, because that was brand new news. Okay, right, let's get cracking. Let's start. Let's get cracking. That means let's start, right? I'm going to put all of these idioms in the caption. And if you're new to my page, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. I have a live session. I try to have a live session every Sunday, 7 o'clock UK time, which right now translates to 9:30 p.m. in Iran, until we change the clocks. And what I do is I record the lesson and then I upload it onto YouTube, and I add all of the important points in the caption on YouTube, and I share the YouTube link with you on my page in my story every Sunday, so you can watch the video again if you like, or if you missed it, it's going to stay on YouTube. Okay. Please don't speak about politics. I prefer speak about beautiful life. That's from Samira. Okay, sure, Samira. We'll do that. Okay. So it's 12:20 in California, 11:30 in India. Right, right. Lovely. Okay, very good. Let's get cracking. Let's get cracking. When you crack an egg, that's how you start to make an omelette, right? So let's get cracking. Let's get cracking. The last one, Amir, you know, lady, okay, that's me. America needs somebody with powerful and even aggressive character to show other nations who the boss is. Okay, okay, thank you, thank you. Sure, thank you. I respect all opinions, okay. Hi, Leila, could you repeat the expression yes, so he escaped death because the bullet that was shot at Trump grazed his ear, didn't it? So it came very close to killing him, but he escaped death. He escaped death, yes? So that means he was very, very close to getting killed, but he didn't die. He was very, very lucky. He escaped death. Death. Okay. Lovely. Right. Let's get cracking. Okay. So what I promised for tonight was to take a look at the verb, not just the verb, the word watch. And just to show you that one word doesn't always just have one meaning. One word can have so many different meanings. That's one of the reasons why I've got the modal verbs course, so people can see. For example, I was talking to a lovely lady a few minutes ago. The word need need. Sometimes it's a verb, sometimes it's a modal verb, so it changes. Or for example, the modal verb dare, which our students are going to learn about from tomorrow on the course. Dare is one of those modal verbs that you express different emotions using dare. We can use dare جرأت کردن, جرأت داشتن. We can use dare when we want to joke, to be very friendly. We can use dare if we want to be extremely polite and request something. We use dare when we're really angry. We're really angry. We use dare when we're shocked, surprised. So it's the same word, but it has different meanings in different situations, okay? So that, for example, is an example of dare, which is in the modal verbs course. What I'm talking about tonight is another word, which is watch. Watch, just like the watch that, you know, a lot of us have, watch. But it's going to be used, I'm going to introduce it in 10 different ways tonight. We're going to learn watch, and we're going to learn to use it in 10 different ways. So I hope you're ready. Okay, I've got some examples here. I dare you, how dare you, very good. Very good. Some people already know, right? Okay, so let's go to watch. The very first one, we're going to use it as a noun, and the same thing that I've got, you've all got. For example, I got this watch as a birthday gift. So the watch that I'm always wearing, I got this watch as a birthday gift. So here, watch is a noun. We're using it as something that people wear just so that they can tell time. Yeah, watch, watch. Another meaning for watch is a group of people. So here, watch that I used was maybe a piece of jewelry, an accessory. The next meaning for watch is a group of people. We call them watch. Watch, it's a group of people. For example, they've got a watch on the neighbourhood, right? Some of you might not have known about this. So in the second meaning, watch is a group of people. Let's say something has happened in the neighborhood. Maybe there's been, I don't know, some kind of robbery going on. There's been disturbances. There's been loud noises. There's been teenagers on the street. Something's happened, and the residents are a bit unsettled. They're a bit worried. They're a bit nervous. So they've contacted the police. And we're going to say the police have come and they've got a watch on the neighborhood. That means a group of people are watching, monitoring, supervising the area, just checking that everything's okay, everyone is safe. So here in the second one, watch is a group of people. It's not watch anymore. Okay, so that's two different meanings for watch. Is everybody okay for now? Is everybody okay? Just give me a the Night's Watch in the Game of Thrones. Well done, Sepide. That's very good. Very very good. Very good. Can you spell it? Watch. W-A-T-C-H. The spelling is the same in all of them. Yeah? Good, 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 good. Lovely, lovely. The third one, let's go to the third function for watch. And now we're going to look at watch as the verb. Okay, so in the first two, watch was the noun. In the next one, watch is going to be the verb. And one of them, for example, is when you are watching somebody or something and you are very alert. You're paying a lot of attention. You're very alert. You're waiting to see if something happens, if something bad happens. That's also another version of watch, okay? Let's say, for instance, God forbid, Khoda nasib nakone, God forbid. Let's say somebody's child is very, very ill and they go to the doctor, they ask for medication, and the doctor doesn't know if this medication is going to work or not. So the doctor will say this, for example, to the patient: watch her over the next 24 hours, watch her over the next 24 hours to see if she takes to the medication. Okay, so anybody that there is a person who's not feeling very well, we've gone to the doctor's prescribed a medication, but we don't know if it's going to work or not. The doctor says watch her. That means watch her all the time and be ready if something goes wrong. Be alert. Yes, watch her over the next 24 hours to see if she takes to the medication. If she takes to the medication, see if her body will accept the medication. Okay, so that's one example. God forbid, 1D please, 1D for God forbid. Yes. Okay, so yeah, Shahzad, sorry. It's a form of observe, but it's not just observe, it's observe with full attention, and you're ready if something bad happens. That's the meaning of watch. Okay, lovely. The next meaning of watch is, for example, if you're watching a film. Okay, so the first one was watching a very, very sick child. That's very different, right? Just to watching a film. These are two different meanings. So the next one is watching a film. Somebody might say, for example, Layla, did you watch that film last night? And I say, yes, we watched it last night. We were glued from start to finish. Yeah, we watched the film last night. We were glued. You know, glue that we use, chaspe moye, your chasp. Chasp nabarina, chaspe. How do you say glue in Farsi? Can someone help me? Glue. You can either say chaspe moye or glue, chasp, yeah, but it's not. It's chaspe obaki, chaspe moye, and you also use it like a lipstick, yeah, that it comes out. That's also called chaspe oho. There we go, lovely. So that's what I mean by glue. And this is an idiom. When I say we were glued from start to finish, that means we couldn't stop watching the film. It was so interesting. We were glued. The full idiom is we were glued to the TV, but we don't say to the TV. We were glued from start to finish. Wow, yeah, we watched the film last night. It was really interesting. We were glued from start to finish. It was a really good film. Glue stick, thank you. Mochasbidin behish, yes, lovely. Hi Atifeh, thanks for joining. So glue, yes, when you're glued to a program, you're glued to a film, you're glued to anything, it means it's so interesting you can't look away. You're constantly watching it. Lovely. Okay, so that up to now is 4 different functions of glue. Let's go on to number 5. Right. Number 5, and I've seen this, I think, in 1 or 2 examples from people. Man tamam caption ha ro توی یوتیوب زیر ویدیو حتما می نویسم. Okay, please don't worry. Right, the next one is when we use watch, that means supervise. Just supervise. So you don't have to watch somebody all the time. Just be aware, like with kids, for example. Supervise, like with kids. I might want to leave the house. For example, this is what I used to do when my kids were really young. They're grown up now, but when my kids were really young, I would say to a friend, a neighbor, a colleague, family, anybody, I would say, for example, would you just watch the kids? Would you just watch the kids while I step out? Step out, it means leave. Leave for a very short time. Would you just watch the kids while I step out? Maybe I want to go to the doctor's, I want to go to the supermarket, I want to go to the bank, you know, want to go post office, any of these things. I'm going to be out just for a short time. Would you just watch the kids? So that doesn't mean you need to sit and watch them all the time. You just need to supervise them, make sure they're okay. Yeah, they don't get in trouble. So that's another meaning of watch, when you supervise somebody. Could you just watch the kids while I step out? Yeah. مراقبشون باشی تا من یه نوک پا برم بیرون. نوک پا. Very good. Okay, thank you. Lovely. So that's 5 up to now. Let's go to number 6. After number 6, I'm going to give you just a little bit of a relaxation, because I know a lot of you are writing this down. A lot of you send me photographs, you send me videos, very short videos on Instagram, that while you're watching my live, you're writing it down with me. Fantastic. So let's do number 6, and then I'm going to give you a little break. Okay. So number 6 is when we use watch for something that's happening right now. It could be the news, it could be football, it could be something that's happening right now. Okay, so that means you are following the progress, you are following an activity, and that's where we use watch. So somebody might say, Layla, have you heard? Joe Biden is stepping down. Stepping down. Joe Biden is stepping down. And if I'm actually watching it on the news, I'm following it, I'll say, yeah, I'm watching it now. I'm watching it now, which means I am following it. Yeah, it's on the TV, for example. I'm following it. I'm following the story. I'm watching it now. I'm watching football now. I'm watching the game now. So it's when we're following the story or the event. Okay, lovely. So that was 6 of them. I'm going to take a very short pause from the lesson, and then we're going to come back to the lesson. Don't worry. So the very short pause that I've got here, I think it was last Sunday, I was talking about something new that I've started, and this will be ready. The very first one will be ready Monday, 29th of July, and that is kids' storybooks. I've started with kids' storybooks. I put a post on Instagram maybe 2 posts ago. I put a post on Instagram, and you might have seen the little cartoon characters as well. So it's a collection of 10 stories. I did not write these stories. They are written by a fantastic writer called Roger Hargreaves. He was an amazing writer, and he unfortunately has passed away. So his son is now writing other stories. So I've got a collection of these stories, and what I have done is I have created a video, 2 videos from each story. In the first video, the children can see me. They can see a little picture, and they can also see the words in English on screen. I read one sentence in English, and then I translate that sentence in Farsi. So kids who have 0 English, they can still enjoy, they can still understand and enjoy the stories. And the stories are really, really funny. They're very interesting, very funny. But there are good things about it. Firstly, it teaches children real English, not textbook English, not academic English. The same English that we use with children here in English-speaking countries. So the language that's used in these books is the same language that we use with our children. So that's really good, everyday English. If you've just gone to live in an English-speaking country, if you want your child to learn natural English conversation, these books will really, really help. So that's one video. In a different video, for every story I've done this, in a different video, again, children can see me on the screen, they can see the little image, and they can see all the writing as well. And I just read it just in English. And this is for kids who their English might be a little bit higher, but they want to just listen to a story, or they want to read with me. Maybe they want to work on their pronunciation. They want to read with me. So that's 2 videos for every story. I've also included the PDF, so children can print it out and they can have the story themselves. And you've also got the audio as well. You don't have to have the video. This is lovely if a child wants to look at the words, they want to listen to me, and they want to read with me. So they can see it, they can hear it, and they're going to enjoy it because it's really, really funny, interesting stories. Every story teaches children a lesson. One story teaches children that you need to be confident. Be proud of who you are. It doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter what you know. Be proud of who you are. Another story, for example, talks about how we need to respect others. There are some people who do something that we don't like, or we might do something that other people might not like. How we need to learn to respect others. So each story, apart from being really funny, very interesting, everyday English, it also teaches children a very important life lesson. This collection of 10 stories is now on my website. Tomorrow, which is Monday, I have got a reel ready that I'm going to post on Instagram tomorrow. And in the reel, I'm going to be using a few of the new words that you will see in the storybook as well, just to show you that we use that kind of English in everyday conversation. Okay, that was our little Zanya Kafri, right? So that was our little break, just to let you know about these stories, and it's all on my website. Tomorrow, I will also put a sample video on the website so you can watch to see what it looks like. Okay, I hope you enjoy it. Lovely. Right, so we did 6 of the words for watch. Let's continue. Number 7 is when I am asking somebody to, for example, look after my bag. Okay, it must have happened to you, I'm sure. You might have been in a cafe, in a restaurant, at the airport. You might be outside somewhere. You want to leave your bag for a minute because you want to go and buy something at the shop. You might want to use the restroom, use the bathroom maybe. For some reason, you want to leave your bag, your suitcase, your laptop, whatever, and you want to leave and go do something else. This is what I always tell my kids. I might leave my laptop while I go, I don't know, get a cup of tea or something. And I tell the kids this for the next one. Watch my bag, my laptop, my suitcase. Watch the bag like a hawk. Watch the bag like a hawk. A hawk is a very big bird, and it's got very, very sharp eyes. Okay, so this idiom, watch my bag like a hawk, it means watch it, don't let anybody take my bag, right? So my bag, laptop, or whatever else it is that you want to leave with somebody else. So watch it like a hawk. Yeah, don't take your eyes off my bag. I'm just going to leave to go get a drink or make a phone call or whatever. Watch my bag like a hawk. Okay, so that's what we do. Jord. Jord? No. Hawk. Hawk, is that jord? Owl is jord, is that right? I don't think. Hawk is jord. Yeah. Shaheen, maybe. Yeah, hawk, I don't know. Orab, okay, we've got different birds here. But a hawk, yes, orab, a lot of people are saying orab, okay. So a hawk, yes, it's a bird of prey, P-R-E-Y, a bird of prey that's got very, very sharp eyes. It flies high up in the sky, but it can see everything. It's a hawk, H-A-W-K, yes. مثل عقاب مراقبش باش. Thank you, Sarah. So I'm leaving my bag and everything. Watch it like a hawk, yeah? Okay, so that's the next meaning of watch. Lovely. In the next, so that was up to 7. I've got 3 more, watch, and these 3 are idioms with watch. I hope you find them useful. The first one is a phrasal verb and an idiom. We say watch out, and you might have heard of this a lot in films and movies, but we use it in conversation as well. Watch out, that means be careful. Watch out means be careful. Watch out for the slippery floor. Watch out for the slippery floor. Usually when you go, I don't know, wherever, in a supermarket or cafe or wherever, they've just cleaned the floor and the floor can be very slippery. So watch out for the slippery floor. You might go somewhere and the ceiling is very low. The ceiling is very low. You might bang your head. Watch out for the low ceiling. So watch out is a phrasal verb and it can be an idiom as well. Okay, so that was number 8. Is that right? We've got 2 more. The next one is watch over. Watch over. When somebody watches over something, that means they are protecting it. They look after it. They protect it, especially when you're not there. So has this ever happened to you? You want to go on holiday, you want to leave the house, you want to go on holiday. Usually we like to either tell our neighbours, if we're comfortable with our neighbours. We might tell our friends, maybe friends who live close by, hey, I'm going on holiday for a few days. Can you just watch over the house while I'm away? Can you just watch over the house while I'm away? So I'm going to be away on holiday. Can you just watch over the house? That doesn't mean come and live in my house. It doesn't mean stay in front of my house. Every day, every other day, just drive past, just check to see everything's okay. There's no fire, there's no burglary, anything like that. So watch over, it means just look after it. Just look after it, make sure it's okay, especially while the owner is away. Okay. حواستون باشه. Yes, yes, lovely. While I'm away, can you watch over my house? Lovely, lovely. Can you watch over my plants? مقدسی Said. Absolutely. Watch over, watch over. Yes, lovely. We do that, don't we? It's a good idea. You never know. While you're away, there might be a gas leak. There might be a gas leak. There might be a water leak. There might be something going on. We never know. And the very last one that I'm going to tell you, and then I'm going to let you go, is watch your language. Watch your language. Watch your language. My 2 kids, I've got 2 kids, they're teenagers. I've got 2 kids, they're teenagers, and we love teenagers. Yes, of course we do. But, however, teenagers, when they enter that stage of being a teenager, they are learning about themselves, yeah? They're experimenting, they're learning obviously about the world around them, and sometimes when they are with their friends, they might say language that's not very appropriate, right? I don't know if this happens to your kids or not, but teenagers, especially if you live in an English-speaking country, they start learning certain language that's not very polite, it's not very nice, and I usually tell my kids, watch your language. This is what I always say to my kids. My kids are really, really good kids. I always say to them, whatever language you've learnt at school, that's fine. Keep it outside the house, okay? I can't watch you all the time. Watch you all the time. I can't watch you all the time. I can't listen to your conversations. That's not right, is it? I want you to have your independence, but do not bring bad language into this house. Yeah, so bad language, if you have to use bad language, it stays outside the house, please. Or if you have to use it when you're talking to your friend in your bedroom, don't let me hear it. Don't let me hear it. So if you have to use bad language, don't let me hear it. Yeah, watch your language. So this is if you're talking to kids, sometimes you might be talking to an adult, a grown-up, and unfortunately that grown-up, that adult might be using bad language, yeah, and you're going to say, excuse me, watch your language, watch your language, please use appropriate language, that's very rude, excuse me, watch your language. So we use it with everybody. I usually use it with the kids, but yeah, sometimes we have to use it with adults as well, unfortunately. Watch your language. Watch your mouth. Mamad 1249. Watch your mouth. That's so watch your language is a little bit more formal. It's a bit more respectful. Watch your mouth is just a little bit more informal. Yeah, watch your mouth. Yeah, watch your words. Yeah. So we usually say watch your language. Usually. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Behave. Online e-search. E-search. Yes. Behave. Absolutely. Yes, watch your language, watch your language. Or yeah, if you were getting quite upset, watch your mouth. But usually we say watch your language. Could you please share your videos on YouTube? So this video is being recorded, as is every video, every session that I have on Sunday, it will be on YouTube. Yes. Lovely. Okay. What's your language? There are some ladies here, Muqaddasi Saeed. Okay. Okay. Yes. That's usually what happens, right? Ladies present. Usually some people, that men or women, they might say something and then they say, oh, ladies present. That means there are ladies here. Let's be careful. Let's watch our language. Yes. Would you please introduce some podcasts for improved daily conversation? I've got some podcasts on my website, but if you're looking at other podcasts, podcasts that I listen to are from Joe Rogan. He's American, Joe Rogan. I find his podcasts fascinating. He talks about everything. He talks about religion, politics, hobbies, business, sports. He talks about everything. He's got a bit of a potty mouth, so he says lots of swear words, but his podcasts are amazing. But that's for quite advanced level. So it depends basically what level you're looking. Dear Layla, have you learnt your kids Farsi? Have you taught your kids Farsi? No. And I'm very naughty for that. I need to remember to speak Farsi with my kids. Yes, it's a shame. It's a shame. BBC Learning English podcasts are great. Yes, very good. Yes, please. BBC Learning English is fantastic. Can every foreigner get British accent? Yes, yes, 100% yes. Because we are not born just with a set of muscles just for British, just for Farsi, just for Japanese. We are all born with the same mouth. All of us have the same mouth. All of us have the same muscles in our face, in our mouth, our teeth, our tongue. All of us are born exactly the same. So all of us, with the correct practice, enough time, you can start copying absolutely any accent that you want to. Yes, it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of listening very carefully. Listen and repeat, but the answer is yes. Okay. How can we find podcasts of Joe Rogan? It's just a Google search. If you do a Google search, Joe Rogan. He's also on Instagram as well. You might be able to find him on Instagram. Another podcaster that I listen to is, gosh, what's his name? I forgot his name. Oh my goodness. Sorry, I forgot his name. I might be able to write it. Tony Robbins. There we go. Tony Robbins. He is very good as well with his podcasts. I prefer listening to him, not very much his wife. His wife also does lots of podcasts and she's lovely, but I just find his podcasts a lot more interesting than his wife's. I don't know why. But his podcasts are fantastic. Again, for quite good, good level speakers. Okay. Layla has a great podcast. Thank you, Beta. Thank you. Yes, I do have some podcasts on the website. Thank you. Tony is amazing, Sarah. I agree. Yes, Tony Robbins is really, really good. Tony Robbins, yes. ESL Pod is also good. Thank you. So lots of people are giving great suggestions here. Fantastic. Lovely. Listen to Medication for Women podcast. Very good. Very good. Yes. لیلا جان این کورس جدید برای بزرگسالان مناسب هستش و همچنین برای افرادی که گلاسگو زندگی میکنن. کورس جدید, which course do you mean? Sorry. Do you mean the storybooks? Do you mean modal verbs? Do you mean podcast? Which one do you mean, please? Any British accent podcast recommendation? British accent podcast, I would... A lot of the time, I actually listen to TED Talks as well. I'm sure TED Talks will have their own version of podcasts. The BBC has great podcasts. I can't think of any names off the top of my head, but I know there are some good podcasters out there. I'll try and get some names and I'll try and put them as a story, if you like. Thank you for your podcast. It is very helpful, Farshid. Thank you very much. I'm so happy that you heard you thought that. So the podcast that I think it's Farshid, thank you very much, who's talking about. I've got it's a series of 10 podcasts that I've got on my website. Usually people who do a podcast, they just talk about something. It could be about sports, it could be about hobby, it could be about location, food, religion, anything. The podcasts that I've created are specifically for people who want to learn English. So I'm talking, obviously, in these podcasts. Some of them are half an hour, some of them are 40 or 45 minutes. But inside the podcast, I'm also teaching people exactly what to say. So one of the podcasts that I have is about when you want to agree or disagree with what other people are saying. You might be at work, you might be outside with friends. You've got English speakers around you, not native, just people who speak English. And you might want to agree with what they're saying. You might want to disagree with what they're saying. So I've listed quite a few different ways, and I've actually taught exactly what you can say. So in the podcasts, I'm talking, obviously, but I'm also teaching exactly what you can say. So you might find that useful as well. Okay. In my opinion, film is better than podcast. Okay. Okay. Film, you have a story, you have visuals. Sure. All Ears English podcast is very good as well. Lovely. پادکست که برای شروع تمرین shadowing باشه. I don't know. Sorry. I don't know of that specific sort. منظورم story book هستش. مناسب بزرگسالان هستش و همچنین افرادی که در گلاسگو. Thank you. So the storybooks, if you're learning English, yes, they are useful for adults as well, definitely. Because language is language, yes. مثلا در زبان فارسی گاهی وقتا زبانی که استفاده میکنه که با بچه ها حرف بزنیم ممکنه مثلا به عنوان مثال من یه خانمی رو میشناختم به جای کشمیش به بچهش میگفت کیسمیس. اوکی؟ زبان بچگونه. یعنی کلن اصلا اون کلمه کشمیش تبدیل شده بود به کیسمیس. اوکی؟ این خب فرق میکنه، درسته؟ این آدم بزرگسال به همسایه که دیگه نمیگه کیسمیس، درسته؟ میگه کشمیش. توی این کتاب هایی که من ویدئوش رو تهیه کردم، زبانی که استفاده میکنیم چه با آدم بزرگ چه با بچه زبان یکی هست. Okay, پس آیا به درد بزرگسال‌ها هم میخوره؟ Yes, absolutely. You're asking if it's useful for people in Glasgow. Now, my accent is not Scottish, right? So I can't speak Scottish for people in Glasgow. As you know, my accent is English. So with the accent, I don't think I can be very helpful, unfortunately. But with the language, yes, it's suitable for adults and for children. فان و فانتزی هست، برای بچه ها نوشته شده، ولی همون زبانی هست که آدم بزرگام استفاده میکنن. Any Scouse accent? Oh my goodness, Scouse. Oh, no. I don't know of any podcast with Scouse accent, I'm sorry. Please list the good podcast for us on Instagram. I'll do that and put it in a story. Yes. Okay. Lovely. Quote to 8. میشه پادکاستی درست کنید که در زمانهای متفاوت صحبت کنید. حال، گذشته، آینده. I have a lot of my podcasts include different tenses. A lot of my podcasts, because when you talk about something, you don't just use one tense. You have to use different tenses when you're talking about something in general conversation. So there's, for example, one podcast I did, which was about work. And in the podcast, I talk about my own work experience, which is all past simple, past continuous, past perfect, yes. I talk about my experiences now when I'm working, which is present continuous, present perfect. And a lot of the time I talk about the future as well, what people will be doing, you know, in work in the future. How do you think this will change in the future when people are working? So I do use all the different tenses in the podcasts. Okay. The 15 types of shadowing techniques are wonderful tools for developing speaking and listening skills. Thank you very much. Alon Bosby. Okay, so that's where I'm going to end the session. Thank you so much for joining me. It's lovely when I don't see your faces, but I see your names and I see how you interact. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you. You give me 45 minutes of your Sunday every evening. I appreciate that. So I'm going to put all of this in a caption on YouTube tonight, and I'll share the link with you. If anybody has any questions about the storybooks, feel free to message me. All the information, not the video, but all the information is on my website, so you can go take a look at the website. If you have any questions about any of the courses, please first go to the website. A lot of my courses have a free lesson, so you can take a look at the lesson, see the level, what the lesson is about. There's a little bit of a description to tell you what the lesson is about. A lot of the lessons, a lot of the courses, I've given you the curriculum. That means you know every lesson what we're going to be talking about. You know the topics. You know how long the video is. You know how long the audio is. You know what kind of PDF you've got. You've got the text. You've got homework. It tells you exactly what is included in each lesson on the website. So feel free to go there. And if there are still any questions, I'd love to try and help. Okay. Hi Leila June, hello. My question might be irrelevant, but Instagram is bombarding with lots of great language materials. Even if I want to only follow one single page, how should we use them all in daily use? That's a really good question. I was hoping to end the session, but I'm just going to answer that one question. Yes, so teaching English is one of these things that lots of people are doing right now. First thing I would ask, please make sure any page that you're following for any language, not just English, any page that you're following to learn a language, please make sure that it's a page that doesn't have too many mistakes. Okay, so that's one thing. We want to make sure that we're learning the correct language. That's the first thing for any language, not just English. The second thing I would suggest is look at your own lifestyle. For yourself, are you currently working? If you're working, what is your area that you're working in? Is it an engineering job? Is it a creative job? Is it working in a kitchen? Are you an Uber driver, for example? Are you working in school? So look to see about your own job if you're working. And then think, what kind of conversations do you usually have? Or what kind of topics do people usually talk about? Yes? That is where I would try and focus more on the English. For example, learning about stuff you can say in a post office is good, but we don't use that kind of conversation every day, do we? So try and focus more on the kind of language that you think is suitable for you. And what's suitable for you might not be suitable for somebody else. So it has to be quite an individual thing. It's good to go on different pages. What is she teaching? What is he teaching? But how can I use that in my own conversation? That's the important thing, I think. If you can try and make that lesson relevant to yourself, that's a winner. Yeah, I think. Do you have educational videos and clips for the American accent? No, sorry, I don't. I don't have an American accent. I do apologize. But everybody on Instagram is using an American accent. So I'm sure you'll find very, very good pages on there. Okay. Woman life freedom. Absolutely. Absolutely. Definitely. Let's not forget that. Thank you so much, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And I will be putting some stuff on my website and on stories tomorrow. Look out for that. And also my Instagram reel tomorrow as well. Enjoy the rest of your evening, everybody. Take care. Good night.